Hey, how you doing? How you doing? This is Tom. Hold on a second. Let me mute this. I don't know if it's going to work or not. We are trying to capture my STR Uno. I'm running my RSP Duo. It is about 7:20 p.m. here in Clearwater, Florida. It's been storming and overcast for several days, but the band, at least this 49 meter band, is doing okay tonight. You can see over here, I got some really strong signals. These are fairly local. They're in the United States. The one I'm listening to right now, I think, let's see here. Let me go. That's not it. Shortwave is, I believe, China Radio in Sherrick. Let me show you where Sherrick is, if I'm even pronouncing it right. It's over in the Middle East. And probably the reason I'm getting that, if that indeed is what I'm getting, and according to Short Dash Wave, which is right here, that is what's on right now, broadcasting in Spanish. And it should be a pretty strong signal to my location. So I think that's what that is. You can see the gray line here, and that's where the sun and the night is. This is night. When that gets close to your location, which my location's right here, then you should or could receive signals that are in over here, which is kind of lining up. So that's probably, let's see, we touch on that station again right here. So you can see actually, get the right one here. It's in the middle of East, so it doesn't, that's in the middle of the Middle East. So it doesn't line up. I should be receiving stations, depending on a whole bunch of different variables, over here. So I thought I would be getting maybe China Radio directly from China, but I'm not. And I think possibly this one here, yeah, you can see the little thing jump up here when I select one of these. So that's kind of on the border. That's there. Let's see. No, that's it. Okay, it could be this one, but that's 7250, and I am on 7210. Let me just tune back up to 7250. Let me unmute this. It's changing. Still Spanish. No. Oh, yeah. Something there, but it's weak. Ooh. All in the name of Jesus. Amen. I receive my healing now. That's English. Let me mute this. Getting some weird things tonight. See, that's 7250. So let's go back here. Let's put in 7250. If I can see the keyboard. 7250. Now. And that's China Radio, Spanish. It sure sounds like she was talking English. Here's New Delhi. What else could it be? I'm not sure what else it could be. Says Spanish though. What time is it? Yeah, it's 23 something. 23 UTC. Let's go back. I don't know what it is. It's really jumping in and out there. Some kind of music there. Anyway, I just thought I'd get on the YouTube and just kind of look around the band here and get some information from you guys. I have been playing with the memory panel scanning. So here's all this memory panels I have. Most of these are from Mike Ladd. Thank you, Mike, for posting those. Some of them are mine. Some of them I've done slight modifications to. And we got some, wow, look at that broad signal there. Ooh, look at that monster. Let's see if I can figure out what that is. If it's intelligible. Oh, yeah. Okay, let's turn the music off. It's probably 7315. Let's look up 7315. 7315. I need to get a light on it. Wait on, hold on a second. I didn't have light on my keyboard. I couldn't even see my keyboard. 7315. Now, probably in the United States. Another China radio. Possibly. Here's a whole bunch of stations. Cypress Creek, that's in the United States. I'll click one so you can see it on the map. Yeah, let's, there we go. I like this website. So there it is. So I'm down here and it's up there. I think, let me try it. Oh, let me hide this. Measure distance to here is 200 miles, line of sight. No, why did it say 200 here and total distance here is 333? Not sure why there's a difference. Unless that's nautical miles. Anyway, not a big deal. You can see where it is. Okay. Let me go see if anybody happened to show up in the chat room. Stand by. Oh my gosh. Hey, we got Nick and David in the chat room. We got 10 people watching. Oh my gosh. I am quite surprised because this was just an experiment I wanted to do. Anyway, this is Tom, and this is Tom's Radio Room Show. And what I was doing, what I was showing you is I turned on my RSP Duo tonight about 7 o'clock, and I was receiving quite a few stations, which has been unusual since for the past week and a half, we've had storms, constant, all day long storms. Matter of fact, right now, when I look out the window, it's not storming, but it's overcast. Stand by. So that's one thing about shortwave. You never know what's going to happen. You know, I always say, you know, you got the 11-year cycle and we're at the bottom of the 11th year, but there's always exceptions. And tonight seems to be an exception, at least in this band. What I started out doing is I was going through these memory panels that most of them were made by Mike Ladd at SDR Play. and some of them are made by me, which are a set of frequencies, and you can go into the scan mode and it'll scan those frequencies. And so I was doing that, and I noticed in this area of the spectrum, I was getting a bunch of signals. You can see there's a bunch of signals here, and a lot of them, like these two right here, they're really strong. So I'm just going to go through these quickly and see if we can figure out what they are. Okay, we got that one. There's another even bigger one right here. If I can get centered on it, turn the mute off. Radio Martini. Yeah, that's in northeast section of United States. And that's that thing's off the screen. It's so big. Let's go to the next one here. That's strong. Let me look that up. 7380. Whoop. Radio Habana, Cuba. Strong. Very strong. English. Yep. Says it's broadcasting in English. Okay. Let's go back. Let's pick one of these little ones right here. Data. $74.90. I think that's a China radio. The Overcomer. WBCQ out of Tom. Did I put my name on that? I don't know. See where it is. Yep. Northeast United States. I love this website that gives you this map. And since, well, let me turn the, let me mute this noise. It gives you this map when you, let me go back here. When you get a frequency, if you click on the flag, it will open another page and give you the map. And of course, it's a Google map, so you can see all kinds of information. Here is an actual picture. It's probably the transmitter station in Monticello, Maine. Pretty cool. Pretty cool stuff. Let me go check the chat room. Stand by. Oh, my God. 741 is here. Craig is here. Glenn is here. Wow. D. Raft is here. Wow. I can't believe all these people that are showing up tonight. I really appreciate it. I just was doing some testing, and I thought, well, let me share my radio and let other people see what's going on. And it's a good example that you never know when shortwave will be working, and it's working tonight for me. I don't know about you guys. You give me some reports. I'd appreciate it. Let me get a drink of tea. This is pretty exciting. Okay, let's go back to the radio. And what I'm having to do is I'm monitoring the chat room across the room on a different computer because this computer is pretty busy already. Not too bad. You can see SDR Uno is like 10%. Overall, it's like 40%. So I'm doing pretty good. My bandwidth. All right, let's move on. Let's look at this big spike here. And you can see things are changing a lot. Okay, let's see if we can figure out what that is. That's probably 70. Unmute. Oh, good.
Parents streamed into the building to pick up their children. You just had a melee there.
The preacher man.
But it wasn't clear whether the hammer and pipe were brought into school or were grabbed during the fighting from a janitor supply.
Actually sounds like another station there, but that's the preacher man. Let me see. 75, 70. Where are we at? 75, 70. We'll close this one. 75, 75, 70. Now. And that's the Overcomer Ministry, WRMI English, out of Okeechobee, Florida. There's my name again. I wonder if I somehow tagged these. That's interesting. Why is it just coincidental that TOM is showing up on stations that I've listened to in the past? That's kind of interesting. I don't know what that's about. But that's definitely the preacher man, the Overcomers Ministry out of Okeechobee, of course, which is south of me in Florida, maybe, 200 miles line of sight. Let's just click on it and see what it shows as far as distance. Okay, here I am here. Well, I didn't mean to zoom in, guy. I don't want people to look in my house. Okay, I got to do this. I got to right click, measure distance, and then I'll click over here. And it says it's 115 miles, line of sight. Oh, so it's really, when it says Okeechobee, it's way north of Okeechobee. Here's Okeechobee down here. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. Where are we? Back to the radio. Whoa, another big spike right here. Getting kind of on the edge of this band.
Either come home to fight.
Same old guy.
A nation in martial law, or get.
It's probably 7730.
Have to wander like American soldiers, a lot of them, with all kind of. Our returning service people, my friends, are not doing too well. I hope you know that a lot of them are homeless, their jobs are gone, and their youthful intelligence have been impaired by many.
Yeah, same thing right here.
To exercise their First Amendment right within appropriate limits, so that not only can they maintain
I didn't want to do that.
Conscience, but also they can express it and they can take action, which means they can have the Bible on their desk or they can speak in a non-coercive fashion with other members.
Well, that's coming in loud.
Who added that the amendment would not allow service members to disobey orders.
Minus 58
if your
ppm.
Officer says, get in the tank and go shoot. You can't say all of this.
Okay, enough of him. Let me check the chat room. Stand by. Oh, we got Randy from California. And Valadins, Sylvia. We got Brian Perry. What would be a good site to listen to shortwave online? Oh, I can't remember the name of them. Web SRD, is that it? Let me see. Hold on. I've forgotten already. What's it called? Is it Web SRD? Web SDR, Web SDR. Yeah, that's it. That's a good one to listen to. That's one of two of them. And then you can choose one of these radios to listen to. Shows you the frequency that you can tune, a bunch of them. And they're throughout the world. So if you don't have a shortwave radio or your conditions are not good at your location, you can use these. This is, and I'll get it right this time. I'm going to go back to the top. This is Web SDR. That's the name of the website. There's another one, HDR. Is that right? Boy, my memory's so poor. HDR something. Nope, that's not it. There's another one. I can't remember it. Hopefully somebody else in the chat room can let you know. So there's one of them. Let's go back and see what we got on my radio. Boy, there's some big signals, and this is just in this one band. If you just tuned in, what I was doing is I was using SDR Uno scan function, and here's a bunch of memory panels, most of which were made by Mike Ladd at SDR. And if you go to the SDR Play, if you go to the SDR Play Facebook page and join, then you can get these files in the file section. So that's where most of these came from. Some of them I made up, like the EIB for frequencies above 2 megahertz. That's the whole EIB network, database with duplicates removed. You want to scan that. I've done that. So we can go back to my file, 49 meters. Double click on that, and we can see what's up there. So I'm just going to scan now. Give it a stop. We turn the mute off. It's a couple of good signals right in here, right around 5 megahertz. Let me tune that in. 4.985. I think it's a little lower than that. Yeah, there we go. 4.980. Maybe she'll say. No, okay, that's enough music. Let's look that up. 4985. 4985. 80. Is that right? My memory is so bad. Yeah, it must be. Let me look. Oh, WRMI out of Okeechobee again. Is it that late already? No? Okay. It starts at, oh, yeah, okay. 2100 to 0100. That's probably what that is. If I type this in right, 4980. Is that right? 4980. Got it right. Okay, let's try it. This 3 big ones right here. Turn the mute off. .005. Spanish, it's probably not listed, but we'll try it. 5005. No. Yeah. I don't think it's that though. It's RN Guineas Equatorial out of whatever this is. I don't think it's that. Well, look anyway. That's okay. That's off the coast of Africa. Yeah, it might be. I don't know. I don't think so. Let's go back. Yeah, I think I'm a little low on the frequency. Let's go up. Turn the mute off. Oh.
La Biblia nos dice que no fue Dios quien trajo la muerte y el sufrimiento al mundo, sino el pecado de Adán. Cuando el primer hombre Adán se rebeló contra el Dios santo de la creación, él perdió su derecho de vivir con el Creador. Por lo tanto, Dios tuvo que...
That's one thing about here in Florida. I get a lot of Spanish stations, and a lot of them are not listed in any database. So that could be one. Although I'm a little off frequency here. Let me see if I can tune it.
Cuando vamos de regreso a Génesis.
It's right in there. Might be 5.01. 5.01. Close this. 5.01. 10. And the answer is okay. There's one right. Yep. WRMI Family Radio, Spanish, Okeechobee. That could be it. A lot of stations come from these transmitters in Okeechobee. That's probably what that is. All right, let's move on. There's 3 big ones here. Another Spanish, probably the same station, just a different program. Another one. 5.04. Let's look up 504. 40. That is Radio Habana, just south of me in Cuba. Okay. Moving right along. There's another big one right here. That's the other thing is, in my area, I get a lot of Spanish stations around 5 megahertz and around 6 megahertz. See what this one is. If anything. Whoop. Nothing there. Just a carrier. Try one of these small ones here. See, conditions are changing. I don't know what that is. Some kind of weird stuff going on right here. Let me mute this and check the chat room. Hey, we've got, wow, lots of people. Phil? Yes, Phil, I still occasionally listen to maritime radio. I don't know if you can hear me across the room. David says at 4.985 he's getting RTTY. Ryan Perry, I do not receive very good shortwave signal in my area. And Brian Perry, what area is that? Bill says, are you listening to, okay, we already did that. TV, radio, 1972. Hello, everyone. Hi. Oh, okay, North Mississippi. You should receive, well, it depends on exactly where you are. If you got a lot of buildings around you or something, you should receive shortwave okay. But of course, we're in the 11-year cycle and we're at the bottom minimum, which means shortwave propagation is at its poorest, with exceptions like tonight here in my location. Okay. This, I'm going to show you the panels I have. Like I said before, most of these came from Mike. I made this 31 meter one and the 49 meter one from the EIB database. So I extracted those files, those frequencies around that band, little above, little below. Amateur radio, that's Mike's. I'm going to click on these. I'm going to click on these there. There's one that Mike made. This is all the amateur radio bands. They're not specific frequencies. They're in or near the band. So, for instance, like 20 meter band, which starts at 14 megahertz. It's set to 14 megahertz, and then you tune around from there. And then some other stuff down here. Here's some AirInc frequencies. You want to decode AirInc. Here's some broadcast frequencies. Again, this is Mike's. And he's got the meter bands, the shortwave international meter bands, the start of each one. So you can use these to jump to each band. And then he's got some specific stations he's heard. I was trying to see if any of them were around what we were hearing. We'll try one anyway. All India radio. Now, according to what I showed earlier, the the gray line, which is, if I go back here, this is the gray line where the daylight is here and this is darkness. There's a phenomenon that when you're on the gray line edge right here, which I'm coming up on, then you should receive or could receive signals that are on the gray line over here. So this is approaching where I'm at, and then it will be approaching, for instance, India. So maybe I can receive India by maybe, big maybe. Okay, let's go and tune that one. He's got two of them here. Let's tune them. Just click on it, double click on it. It goes to there. Turn mute off. Lots of stuff up there. But not on that frequency. Okay, let's go try some of the ones we probably have tried most of these already. Here's one I'm sure we didn't try. This was 8.5 something. Get it lined up here. Turn the mute off. Some kind of data. Probably on single sideband. Let's go to USB, upper sideband. Can't make it out. Let's go over here. Let's get this little weak one first. Go back to AM. Now, try this one. That sounds like WeFax. Probably upper sideband. Yeah. If you're not familiar with that, that is, they still broadcast on HF faxes for ships at sea, for instance. So their weather information, even a couple of times a day, they broadcast a satellite picture. And you can use some software to decode that. And it's pretty nifty. I used to do that a lot. I don't have it set up right now to do that, so I can't do that. This is a strong signal. Like I say, we may have already touched on some of these.
And I was not I was not 2 minutes into the lecture, and the student screams out from about the 20th row up, like 395 kids in the classroom. And he says, what?
Yeah, we listened to that before. 9350. I'll look it up one more time. 9350. Probably Okeechobee. Nashville. Oh, we didn't listen to that. That's coming. That's WWCR out of Nashville, Tennessee. Really strong. Let me go back to it. Where'd it go? Where'd it go?
So I came around to the front of the desk, and I
very clear, just like it was down the street. Let me go check the chat room. Okay, Dave says 9350, very strong in Staten Island. Yeah, I bet it is because let me go back here. Show you a map here. And there's Nashville, Tennessee, just outside of Nashville, Tennessee. I was hoping, going back, let me close this. I was hoping, you know, this gray line is coming up on India. I was hoping I could hear something on India, but it's probably another hour away before it's perfectly aligned. You can on this website, which is short-wave.info, all in lowercase. You can have it show you the stations that are on a particular time, not just what's on now. So I could, you know, I could move that up to, you know, an hour from now. So right now it's 2357, so it's coming up on 2400 or 000 UTC. Let's go back. Okay, we were going through these things. Here's the one again. Mike made this. This is the CB citizen band frequencies, which I've been playing around to see if there's any activity in my area. Let's just try that. I haven't tried it at night. So let's scan and we'll see what happens. It's a noise. May have to change the threshold. Oh, here we go. Oh, wasn't fast enough.
Kelly, I'm going. Kelly, I'm going too. I'm going this time. I'm going to the game.
Okay, what chance? Mute. Gee, I got to mute that. I was telling what he was going to say. This is 27025. 27025. Where the heck is 27025? Oh, right there in front of my nose. That's channel 6 on the CB radio channel. Let's go scan a little more. Maybe get some intelligent conversation.
8229, Kalalua. More cheese.
Sound like some of that single sideband. The question is, what I was attempting to do when I was doing those shows on the CB frequencies is to see if it was a viable method of communications in the case of emergencies. Now, the question is, so far, those are the only people I've heard locally. And whether they would help you out in the case of emergencies, I don't know. Not really what I was looking for. Anyway, let me check the chat room, see if anybody's still around. Yep, TV radio says TV radio 1972 said that is CB channel 6, which it is. Super Bowl channel. Not sure what he means by that. And David says 27.205 LSB here in Staten Island. Well, I guess that's that channel 6 must be the hangout for CBDXers, of which I have to admit, a long, long time ago, I was one of those. A long time ago. I remember my handle was Midnight Monitor because I used to come home from work and listen to my CB radio and talk clear across the United States to California, which was totally illegal. But I was only running 5 watts. Anyway, so much for CB. The next one we have is Clear Channel. Those are Clear Channel broadcast. Various frequencies, such as WGN. But let me just scan this band and see if I can hit any of them. Oh. Stand by. It didn't dawn on me that this was a medium wave band. And as you can see, forget about scanning the medium wave band here locally. It's just cluttered with stations and noise. Look, here's the medium wave band right down here. And in my area, there are just tons of stations. But we can forget listening to that. Now, this is interesting. Way down here, I have no idea what that is. If anything, 618. It's probably 620. 620 is the local station. I don't quite understand why we have minus 620 and a plus 620. And I don't quite understand that, but there's a lot of things I don't understand about STR Uno. So forget that. And then here's two of mine, which are, this is the EIB database above 2 megahertz, because the EIB database goes down to DC. Now, almost, like down in the mud. And I don't want to listen to anything below 2 megahertz. And this does not have the duplicates removed. This one, you can't see the name, and I don't know how to move this over. This one has, so you can see all these duplicates here, and that's because it's the same frequency, same station, but different times of the day, which means they have different programs on. So when you're trying to scan with this, it takes forever because it stops at all these duplicates. So what I did, or actually what one of my subscribers did for me, is he made this one, which has all the theoretically has most of the duplicates removed, so it will scan at a reasonable rate. Again, it's from 2 megahertz to 30. I'll let it scan for a few seconds. I'll show you. Noise level is pretty high down there. Okay, that's not very exciting. That's not very exciting. There's too much noise down below, say, 3 megahertz. So I really need to go edit this and delete all these ones that are below 3 megahertz, or maybe even below 3.5 megahertz. Okay, I'll do that in the future. And then here is the EIB database from Mike, which is the whole entire database. I'll just show you that. So you can see it starts at 164. And it's got all this stuff way down there on long wave, which I can't receive. And it goes, it's huge, goes way up to 27.185 megahertz. This is, I believe, the same one where I took his and I removed the duplicates. Or it could be the one that my subscriber did that for me. I think it is. I think it's because I don't remember being able to, I didn't know the method of loading that database CSV file into Excel and automatically removing duplicates. This person that gave me this knew how to do that. Here's the GRMS, again from Mike. I tried that this afternoon, heard absolutely nothing. Here are some marine frequencies. I believe somebody in the chat room was asking about this. Now, again, if you go to Facebook and you join the SDR Play group, Facebook group, once you're accepted, and that's a group run by Mike Ladd from SDR Play, you can then have access to the files which you can load into SDR Uno. That's where most of these came from. These are files that Mike made. Okay, here's one he made, military frequencies. recognize the 11175. This is major world airline areas. Again, these are frequencies that the airlines use when they're over water, so they have to use HF communications. And they're designated, the frequencies are by area, like North Atlantic A, B, C, D, and then so on. South Atlantic, Caribbean Sea. Okay, so that's it. Here's one mic is called Oddities. Here are the time stations, including the ones in the United States and the ones in Canada and the ones in Moscow. VOL Met. Frequencies for that. Again, I believe that's airlines. Here's an R1 that I guess I made. I don't know what the difference is. And then here's some WeFax frequencies. This is the whole WeFax database that Mike put in, which is huge. And these are all the frequencies in which you can receive faxes, weather faxes. Again, thanks from Mike for doing all these. Okay, let me check the chat room one more time. All righty. I think we're going to wrap it up here. Can go back to the 49-meter band and scan. Whoa. That's not what I want. I wanted 31 meter. 31 meter is best in my area at night.
Presidente de Cuba al término de su visita. Presentación del país se expresará.
So there you go. I really like this scan feature they added to SDR Uno. And I've made some suggestions to them, like, for instance, when doing the memory panel scan, I wish it would highlight the frequencies that it had stopped on in the listing here. I wish it would highlight it. Also, I wish there was a function that there was another column over here to the right of hits, how many hits it got when it scanned. Because what I like to do is, like for instance, this one here, this 31 meter memory panel. I like to just let it scan and go do other things and then come back and see how many stations, or I should say frequencies, because it might not actually be that station, got a hit during some period of time. You can do that. Got to correct myself if I'm wrong. Yeah, I'm pretty sure if you use the range scan, where you scan a range that you specify, when it finds a signal above the threshold, it will put it in the memory bank. You can do it that way. But I would prefer to also, not prefer, but I would also like it to scan the memory panel and put a hit in a column when it hits the station. And then it counts it up. So like, for instance, on 9.42 China radio, that's what it should be. I could come back later and look over here on this other column and say, oh, and I could go down the column and go, oh, this one got hit 5 times. This one got hit once, and see which frequencies. Like I say, it's not necessarily that broadcasting station to give me and compile, that over a period of time, different times of the day, to give me an indication, when's a good time to listen to certain frequencies or certain stations or whatever. So I made those suggestions. Whether they can do that or want to do that, that's up to them, of course. I'm anxiously waiting for the new release for the RSP Duo, that gives you that diversity function where you can use 2 antennas, combine the inputs, and therefore get a better signal. I did view another product, totally different radio, and their software had that capability. And the guy was showing it, pretty cool. Could be of some really good help if you have a noisy environment. All right, I'm going to check the chat room one more time, and then I'm going to take a break. And I think everybody has stopped by while I was doing this live. I typically don't schedule a live broadcast. It's just when something is happening that seems kind of exciting, I just get on the air and do a broadcast. Let me check the chat room. Okay, thanks for the report, Gary, about the VHF ducting that's going on. And Phil, maritime, I'm not sure exactly what you mean by maritime. A lot of the maritime communications has gone away. Not all, but a lot. And that's because of satellite cell phones. And except for the standard channels for local use, because they don't get much distance out of it, that's about it. And that of course is on VHF, and so it don't get much distance. If you happen to watch that show about the people who catch crabs, I forgot what it's called already, but you'll notice anytime they want to talk any distance, they use a satellite radio. They don't use their RF VHF radio. If they're close by, say within 100 miles, then they'll use that VHF. So a lot of that communications has diminished because of satellite cell phones. I shouldn't say satellite cell phones because they're not using cells, they're using satellite. Satellite phones are now available, and you can talk around the world with them. It's very expensive, but you get good communications. I hope that answers your question. Let me check the chat room again. Thank you, Brian. Yeah, Deadliest Catch. I don't know why I watch that show, but I do. It's kind of one of those shows that I don't have to think. I just kind of watch and just take it easy and rest, and usually fall asleep. So anyway, yeah, Deadliest Catch. And I hope that's the question. I answered that question. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I don't remember, or I'm not sure what he means by maritime radio. Let me check and see if he said anything. Okay, I think that's a wrap. Again, thanks everybody for stopping by. And you just never know about shortwave. You could be gone for days and days and all of a sudden show up. And I still don't understand why it's good tonight, because it's really overcast tonight, and it has been overcast. There's no lightning. That's the reason tonight I did hook up my RSP Duo and start listening. One more time at the chat, and then we'll say wrap it up. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Phil. I thought that's what you were talking about. Yeah, there's not much activity there anymore. One is the propagation right now on shortwave is really poor. That's one reason. Number two, because of that, a lot of the maritime stuff has gone to satellite phones, but the maritime stress frequencies are still there. Again, I have not heard much, so I just stopped listening because there wasn't much traffic. I've tried to hear those frequencies and tried to capture communications with fishing fleets with no luck at all. So that's kind of my excuse. That's about it. It's just an excuse for having not listened to it that much. Anyway, thanks everybody for stopping by, and have a great day. Bye-bye. Now I got to figure out how to stop this.